best wrestling podcast in the world. Fact, the road-wearing original Pete, the believing, power of positivity, keeping it Rollins, the Summit. Fact, the homicidal, the genocidal, the ECW loving, daring young creeping, Mr. No Days Off, Scott. Fact, the biscuit and gravy eating, Naomi loving, lunatic craving, the melting pot, JP, and you can bank on that. Fact, the Bailey hugging, the interrupting, the Jaeger drinking, mouth of the Carolinas, Will Stevens. Fact.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I miss you, Darren Young. Little Steven, Darren Young, in a evening gown match with Pat Patterson. Little Steven gets a little French-Canadian in him. If Jeff Hardy's going to face Jay Leno in a steel chairs match, people are just jealous because I got skill.
Here's my issue. Is it worse to get beat by one midget or three? Little Steven in a beer drinking contest with Naomi. I have this big issue with people. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Just kept it Rollins. Jimmy Hart, Triple H, X-Pac against Little Steven in a microphone on a pole match. Anything can happen. It's lightweight. If you don't want it, then don't bark it.
We're three-man band. That's horrible. You don't want to make you look bad.
You're fired, sir. When you want to hear me mess up, they're in Radioland. When you want to hear me not mess up, I did not know that. Wow. Wrestling with attitude. When you want your beer, awesome. That is right. Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude. It is a new day. Yes, it is.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome on Periscope. Also, if you're listening on Stitcher, Spreaker, or iTunes podcasting, welcome. This is Wrestling with Attitude. Mouth of the Carolinas, the Summit over there. I don't even know what you're doing. What is
I'm
this?
bowing down.
Woo! Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. We are on our, we're going to do our segment called This Week in Wrestling History.
That's right.
We look back at all the stuff that happened this week. So let's go ahead and do it.
I do have a what if also.
Okay, and we're going to do a what if after that. So January 19th, 1971, Ivan Koloff defeated Bruno Sammartino for the WWF Championship in Madison Square Garden, thus ending Sammartino's record, breaking 52-month-long reign as champion. I knew his record. His record's the longest, right? Like, no one has ever...
Bruno?
Yeah.
Well, there's the thing with Bruno, though. Back in the 70s and 80s, you didn't wrestle every week.
No,
you didn't wrestle on TV every week.
No.
You didn't wrestle a pay-per-view for 7... I mean, trust me, it was grueling, but yeah.
Well, we got a Charlotte native, January 19th, 1972. R-Truth was born, Ron Killings, in Atlanta, Georgia.
His birthday was this week. He was on after SmackDown.
I heard.
I don't know if I really liked it. Alberto Del Rio, everybody came out and celebrate with R-Truth in the ring.
Hey, man, he's 44.
I know, but look, Sheamus came out. Kevin Owens, you saw laughing in the ring.
I know. It's R-Truth, man. January 19, 1990, WWE held the Royal Rumble in Miami, Florida. Hulk Hogan would go on to win the Royal Rumble match. January 19, 1992, WWF held the Royal Rumble in, you're going to have to help me with this, the Knickerbocker Arena?
Knickerbocker Arena, yes.
Okay.
In New Jersey.
New York, it says.
It's New York.
Ric Flair would go on to win the Royal Rumble match and the previously vacated WWF title. There's a lot of other Royal Rumble ones. The San Antonio, Texas one in 1997 was on there. Steve Austin would go on to win the Royal Rumble match. Basically, this is the week of Royal Rumble. Let me just put that out there. I don't want to go on and tell you about all of these. Here's one for you. January 24th, 1965, Mike Awesome was born. Michael Alfonso in Tampa, Florida.
Mike Alfonso.
Yeah, I think that's a better wrestling ring name than Mike Awesome.
I have a friend that's named Mike Alfonso. That's the reason I like
that. But that to me is a better wrestling name.
No, I like Mike Awesome, dude.
Okay, here's one for Scott, if you're listening out there in Radio Land. January 24th, 1961, Vince Russo was born in New York, New York.
Yep.
So for all you Vince Russo fans out there,
Haters.
which there are none, but and here's a WCW fact for you. January 23rd, 1996, WCW held Clash of the Champions in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yep. In the main event, the team of Ric Flair and the Giant defeated Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. And there you go.
You've missed one.
What do you mean? What did I miss?
3 years ago.
Oh, and 3 years ago
This week,
Royal Rumble, when our beloved CM Punk went against The Rock in the main event. Well, was it the main event or close to it?
No, it was the main event.
Was it the main event? Okay, so they didn't make the Rumble the main event?
No, it's The Rock.
Okay.
You remember because he was on the outside of the ring saying, "No, Vince, we're starting the match. It ain't ending like that."
Yeah.
So, because me and JP and everybody else was so excited.
Yeah.
I will say, I was watching the promos with them too, and I forgot how good that was.
What?
You forget how good that CM Punk, The Rock promos were that good.
Yeah.
And how great this rivalry could have been. I mean, really, they didn't have it. I mean, they pushed for the John Cena versus The Rock again. One of the biggest travesties ever in wrestling, having The Rock beat it in CM Punk's 434 days.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and one last thing. Because I just realized this one. The Luthez defeated Buddy Rogers in Toronto, Ontario to win the NWA World Heavyweight title for the third time. And that's when the whole NWA and WWF became a thing. Mm-hmm. Or WWWF became a thing. So this is January 24th is an historical day because that is when the territories became completely different, when you had the NWA territory and the WWF territory.
Okay.
So this is, I guess it's the birthday of WWWF.
All right. Well, you ready to do What If?
Yeah. Give me a second, but...
Oh, I thought you had it ready.
All right, here we go.
Dirty to clean my act up.
That is right. It is time for my favorite segment, What If?
You didn't sing like you
I
usually
did.
do,
You didn't see me over
I
here
saw it.
with my little piano. And
I saw it in the replay. Well, this week, I actually got a couple we'll talk about here. And the article this guy wrote is great. Let me finish before you start it. What if Ric Flair... Hey, thanks for all the hearts. I appreciate that. What if Ric Flair became Spartacus?
Oh,
If he became Spartacus. Let me go into the story and you can answer that. Y'all can answer me on Periscope. Of course, all stars have to align in order to make a star who truly is. Ric Flair is one such star. Jim Hurd, I know y'all remember Jim Hurd. I don't know what you said. Wanted to tinker with him. Wait, that didn't come out right. He wanted to change his gimmick. Jim Hurd, who everyone hated because he used to work at Pizza Hut, was tasked with being WCW's executive vice president in '91. He knew nothing about wrestling, but that didn't stop him. He threw away his crazy ideas like a crazy man. He also came up to ding dongs at the time. He was Vince Russo on crack with a pizza theme. That is who Jim Hurd was, in case you didn't know. The biggest sin of all, he wanted to change Ric Flair into a Roman gladiator named Spartacus. The gimmick, the music, name, everything. Rick, of course, wasn't cool with it. Rick was let go eventually. That's when he went to WWF. But what if Rick was cool with it? What if he was tired of being the Nate and let Jim change his Spartacus? What would have happened? And this is Ric Flair right here in the Spartacus outfit. Yeah. So what do you guys think if Ric Flair, and of course, you know, without Ric Flair, Sid would have probably been given a title run in his absence. I'm trying to read a little bit more. Tell me what you think will happen. I'll tell you one thing. You still would have got the Space Mountain. You still would have got everything else of Ric Flair because that happened before. But
that happened before, but we're talking about the WWF run.
The Four Horsemen would have never. Well, the WWE or WWF run would have never happened.
Right.
Point done. Now, here's the thing. Do you bring up the new generation early?
Where?
Like, because Ric Flair didn't show up? Do you bring up...
Are you talking about WWF?
Yeah. That's the thing.
What generation?
Like, the new gen... Like, does Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels get...
Pushed earlier?
Or, because that's the thing. And then Sid gets a run. You're right. I could see Sid...
Well, if you remember, at that time, Sid was Sid Justice.
Yeah.
You know, when him and Hogan just got into a beef. So at WrestleMania 9, where this took place, instead of it being Sid versus Hogan, it could have been Sid versus Macho Man, a healed Macho Man against a good guy, Sid. So
Yeah.
I think they would keep Sid as a face longer.
And he would have got more of a push.
Right.
And I think it would have helped because I think the only reason they threw all that together was because of the whole ego thing about,
Right.
you know. But, yeah, I think that would have happened. Also, well, no, you still would have saw that. I was going to say you might not see the Four Horsemen again, you know, the one that we liked in the 90s.
You would have saw them again.
But I think you would have because it doesn't change the fact that Eric Bischoff was going to take over eventually. That does not change. To me, that doesn't change anything. Eric Bischoff was going to take over no matter what. But, I mean, that's the only thing I really have to say about it. I mean, it would have been a bad move on his part because he would have been stuck in that role, and I think Ric Flair would have obviously ended up quitting at some point. Mm-hmm. And then we would have not saw Ric Flair for a long, long time. And, you know, at least when he was in WCW for the second run.
I feel like I would have made it easier time making puns. What?
Huh?
I don't know. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think Ric Flair just – I think what would have happened is he would have ended up quitting. And we wouldn't have saw him probably until like 2003, 2004 in WWE. Like, I think nothing would have happened in the 90s. Thered be nothing because he would have got frustrated. I think he would have got frustrated if he did the Spartacus gimmick because it was so stupid. You want to talk about gimmicks. I mean, you want to talk about WWF in 96 was gimmicky. That's gimmicky.
Oh, no, that's
So-
horrible. Well, 91, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Why you even would think to change. Jim Herd was horrible.
Oh, he was.
Anyway, every idea he came up with was bad.
Is he still the owner of Pizza Hut?
No.
I thought he was.
No, I don't think he is. And my last one, but not least, what if Muhammad Hassan hadn't been dropped from WWE? I don't know if you guys remember him, but he was he was an American. He was a Middle Eastern. He was discriminated against. He was mad. Then he was a terrorist, but that was later on. The Battle of Munich is nothing to laugh at in 2004. Tried to become 24-like and do a story about tension with sleeper cells.
Yeah.
It was based on fears, and Hassan was picked to get into the Bible Belt to give tizzy. On the day of the tragic London subway bombings, the company was set to air an angle that some could view as an offensive because, you know, they used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
It was seen as nothing more than a play on terrorism, and despite having ample time to edit the show, WWE went ahead with it. It didn't go over too well. UPN demanded the character be banned from SmackDown.
He was lined up for a huge push, but WWE did away with it. What if they would have pushed it? What if they would have pushed him anyway?
I think WWE would have got blackballed by UPN. I think
so?
Yeah, I think they would have messed up a lot of their opportunities later on.
Yeah, it changed since the days of Sergeant Slaughter. Bonjour. Somebody said bonjour.
Oh, okay.
But besides that, Muhammad Hassan been allowed to continue. Mercenary, he would have won the world title and held it for a while because they were kind of doing the Sergeant Slaughter thing.
Yeah.
But this guy, had some Middle Eastern background.
That's all it is. It
Yeah.
was only because of that. But,
Okay.
no, I would plain and simple, they would have got blackballed from UPN.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Well, that was that. You say we got to get to the next part?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Real fast, some wrestling news. John Cena posted a picture of AJ Styles on his Instagram, and today AJ Styles posts a picture of John Cena. So draw what conclusion you want, but AJ Styles will be here next week. I got pretty good idea he'll be here next week on Raw. It'll probably be Raw, but he'll be here. I wish he was on the show, but he'll be in WWE next week. There's talk of Hulk Hogan will be back at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah.
Don't know if that will happen. Tough Enough winner Josh got a lot of heat for a disrespectful tweet he sent out. I don't know if you got a chance to read it or anything.
I did not.
Pretty much what it says is, I like it, social jobbers. Talking about when Social Outcast came out. And Stardust said, enjoy the dressing in the hall, Dick, not block band. Kevin Owens said, let him LOL. People like him fizzle out by themselves pretty quick.
Ooh.
So he is not too well liked in the locker room right now.
No, I bet not.
So, but anyway, Josh, come on, dude.
What's wrong with being a social jobber, though?
Hey, at least he's on TV.
We had a thing called Job Squad, okay?
Job Squad.
Job Squad.
Some quick other news real fast. Daniel Bryan is meeting with WWE doctor this week to see if he can return. He will probably be a surprise entry into the Rumble because I've already read Yes Network said he's been cleared. There's a lot of people saying he's been cleared, so we'll see. WWE 2K16 Future Stars Pack is available January 26th.
Cool.
So you'll see all the future stars out there, including Blake and Murphy. And
Blake
Samoa Joe.
and Murphy.
Right. So anyway, that is some of your wrestling news. Follow us on Twitter, WWE Show, and our Facebook page. You can see more.
Yep.
You ready to get into picks?
Let's do it, man.
All right. In case you didn't know, and you're living under a rock, Rocky, no pun intended. This weekend's the 30-man Royal Rumble. We'll just save that for last.
Okay.
There's a kickoff match. The kickoff match is the primetime players, not primetime players, take that back. It's actually Darren Young and Damian Sandow. Yes, they're together in tag team. Can you call it the Prime Scholars?
No.
The Prime Scholars?
No. No.
I'm pretty good with that, actually.
No.
All right, no Prime Scholars for you. Hey, I'm making tag teams here, making history. But it's a kickoff match. It is, and ever who wins the match, the two guys get into the Rumble. They're added into it. Darren Young, Damian Sandow versus the Dudleys versus the Ascension versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. I will tell you, JP already went with the Dudley boys to get in to the Rumble. Who are you going with?
I was going to go with the Dudleys, but I'm going to go one different. I'm going to go Mark Henry and Jack Swagger because Mark Henry wants the Swan Song. Makes sense.
I can see that.
I mean, what? He needs to at least be in the Rumble.
Oh, man. I can't see Darren Young, Damian Sandow win this.
You want to, but I don't.
Actually,
Now, if he was Mizdow, yeah, he'd be in. But
I'm gonna go with the Ascension,
what?
and here's why: it's called Stardust, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I'm gonna go with them. And you
Okay.
guys went with somebody else. New Day versus Usos for the tag titles, and I can tell you already, JP went to Usos.
I guess I'll piggyback. I don't like it, but you kind of made it a little predictable on Raw. But I will give a side note. If you want to do a side point, that's great. Francesca will make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. I know it.
Francesca had a daughter.
That's what's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
I'm
like
sure.
a trumpet or something's going to come out of nowhere.
I'm gonna go with you guys as well. I'm going with Usos. The Divas title: Charlotte versus Becky. Charlotte, of course, I'll have Ric Flair. I'm going to go. Or JP went with Charlotte. Excuse me. That's what I was trying to tell you.
All right. I'm going to flip it.
All right,
Becky.
Becky.
I think it's time.
Damn you.
What?
I'm going with Becky.
Does it not make sense though?
I'm going with Becky.
Yeah, but
I'm going with Becky.
Yeah, it makes sense though, right?
No, it makes sense.
Okay.
Then we got the U.S. title, Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio Jr.
You can't say that.
I was looking at it earlier. It looked like Rey Mysterio. It did.
There was already a Rey Mysterio Jr. He was at WCW. That is Rey Mysterio.
I thought it was Rey Mysterio. JP went with Del Rio.
I don't know. I mean, you've already made Kalisto the champ for a day, so
Right.
it's like, do you do it again?
I don't know.
Screw it. Kalisto.
Kalisto?
I'm going Kalisto.
I'm going with Del Rio. I don't think there's no way
That's fine.
you have him lose. Then the Intercontinental title match, last man standing match. Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. And, of course, he already went with Ambrose. JP did.
I'm going to go Dean because of what you kind of told me before about the whole thing about Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho having a feud later.
Yeah, and that may happen.
And it would make sense because Chris Jericho is only a 9-time winner. He might want to be a 10-time winner. I could see them doing that storyline. So.
Okay. All right. Well, and here's what we're doing for the Rumble, so everybody will know.
Is that it? That's everything?
That's it. That's all the matches that I've got right now.
Oh.
Well, that's a lot of matches, actually. I mean, that's 6. I mean, if you include the Rumble, it's 6. And they may add one. If they add one, we'll tweet.
Well, the Rumble's going to be what? Like at least an hour, right? Rumble takes at least an hour.
Yeah, it'll be an hour and a half, I think.
Okay. Okay. So explain the rules on the Rumble.
Well, for the Rumble, what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 points for 1A, 1 point for 1B.
Okay.
And what that means is you get number 1A is your first choice to win the Rumble.
Okay.
If they win, you get 2 points. If your alternative wins, you get 1 point.
That's fine.
So that's how we're going to do this one.
All right. Then
go ahead.
I'll go ahead and pick.
Well, I will tell you if you want JP's picks already.
Yeah.
1A for him is Roman Reigns. 1B is Bray Wyatt.
Okay, I'm going to flip it here. 1A for me is going to be Brock Lesnar. 1B is going to be Roman Reigns.
All right, hold on. 1A is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, because you already builded him up at Fastlane. You can't tell me you're not going to put a championship on him.
You don't have to.
I mean, you could for a month, and then he gets screwed over at Fastlane, and then loses it.
Yeah, but that's a major thing. I
see it happening.
He wouldn't lose it that quickly. You said Reigns was going to be your 1B?
Yeah. So if I'm completely wrong on the Lesnar thing, at least I have a chance with Reigns. I have a chance. Now, if Wyatt wins, never mind.
You know what? On this show, I do this every once in a while. So I'm rolling the dice.
All right, I was about to say, if you didn't do that, then that looked a little wrong.
No, I'm rolling the dice. I'm going to roll with it because it's how I am.
What, you going with Rollins?
1A. No, funny. He's injured. I'm going to go 1A is going to be AJ Styles.
Ooh.
I'm rolling the dice. If he's there, he's there. If not, I guarantee you 1B will be there.
Okay.
And I hope he doesn't win it, but I could see it. Why not? Because one of these two guys is going to win it. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, yes, will be back. He's my 1B.
Nope.
You will if he wins.
Nope.
I really want Kevin Owens to win it, and I'm looking at a lot of people saying Triple H is going to win it.
Ooh, yeah, because he's coming back. We all know it. He's going to be an entry.
Actually,
Does it not make sense?
Before we change this,
Oh.
I'm changing 1A to Randy Orton.
Okay. Can I change mine then? Since I want to change mine to Triple H.
If you want to change it,
From Brock Lesnar, I want Triple H because you're kind of right. I don't see them. If they give it to Brock Lesnar, he's going to WrestleMania. So, I mean, Roman Reigns or Triple H, I could see winning, or I could see Roman Reigns getting cost by Triple H somehow. So,
I'm gonna go with Randy Orton, and the only reason is because he's been a champion.
yeah.
And I can see Triple H bringing him back.
Is he healthy?
Maybe.
Because I haven't
There's
heard
been
anything
rumors.
about him coming back.
It scares me when you've not heard about people. You know, and
Here's my other thing.
Because Daniel Bryan, we've not heard a lot about. There's been a lot of rumors.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles, I know will be there. I
Just don't know if he's going to be. Wait, hold on.
What?
There is a person you're forgetting that you have been talking about for the last.
Finn Balor?
No,
Kevin
no,
Owens?
no.
Roman Reigns? Brock Lesnar?
Batista.
I have.
I mean,
And I'm not even picking
And
him.
you're not even going to pick the guy.
All right, I'll go.
No. You don't have to go with Batista. I don't want you to go with Batista because I think that's a curveball right now. I don't see Batista coming back. I don't.
That's the reason I'm not going with him.
No, I don't see him coming back.
I do think here's the reason I don't think he will be in it is because I think he's gonna screw over Lesnar.
Yes.
I don't think he'll be in the Rumble, but I think he screws over Lesnar.
Okay.
All right, because you need to have a match at Mania with Lesnar or at Fastlane. So
Okay.
that's the reason. Dude, this is tough. I mean, I really want to put Styles as 1B and Bryan as 1B, but so after the show, we'll talk about it.
We'll
I
talk
might
about
change
it.
it a little bit.
All right. Before we go, Royal Rumble this Sunday. If you don't have the network, get it. It's worth it. New subscribers are free. It's awesome. But you got to watch the Rumble. Something big is going to happen. Anyways, thanks for listening. Wrestling with Attitude. Catch us on Stitcher, Spreaker, Periscope especially. Like us on Facebook. Tweet us at WWA Show. And please check out our website, WrestlingWithAttitude.com. Thank you. Royal Rumble this Sunday. Watch it. I promise you won't be sorry. Have a good one.
Have a good weekend.
Mouth
of wrestling.
Carolina's Summit.
See you later.